So the Relief Woodcarving this week comes from Patron PK, and PK said that a skull would look kind of cool, and since I agree wholeheartedly with that statement, that is what we're doing on the board this week. So, using the bendy boy again to do the outline of the box and the outline of the skull, and then a shallow gouge as always just to take out the background. And this was quite difficult to do, the skull, because it's quite a lot of perspective type things, bits of the skull that are further back. So for instance, this bit right now, I was using a really small gouge and then the bendy boy again, just to kind of take out the bits of the skull that are furthest back, just to try and give me some better perspective to make the skull not look so flat. And I did the same with the kind of, I was going to say the jaw, but it's like the top of the mouth. I guess it's still the jaw. Trying to curve down the two sides, so the left and the right side, so they look like they're going backwards, and keeping the front of the jaw where you'd have your incisors, your two front teeth, having that stick out further forwards from the wood. But all the way through I was struggling with the perspective and trying to keep that right hand side of the skull looking like it was further back than the left hand side, or from the nose to the left, trying to make that look further forwards. That was a constant thing that I had to keep trying to adjust all the time. I'm using a slightly larger gouge there to take away some details of the skull, and then back to the really tiny gouge to take away the other eye socket. Now this eye socket, once again, as I'm saying, has to look further forwards than the eye socket to the right, or the skull's left eye socket, I guess. And then to kind of try and give it that feeling of the shape continuing backwards, I started to curve over the skull so that it looked like it was bending backwards into the wood, to kind of make you think like there's more material there than there isn't. And that's kind of the essence of relief carving, I guess. The sort of undercut around the edges and then the curving over to try and make you think there's more back there than there actually is. And then I finished it off with a little kind of crack line, or skull plate, I don't really know what that is. And then I just pulled out the toothbrush and we scrubbed it all off. It's really hard to give a kind of tutorial on this because I was kind of just trying to figure things out as I go along, but I think it turned out okay in the end. And it was, I learned a lot for next time. So hopefully you enjoyed that and you like how it looks. Cheers, PK, for suggesting the skull. It was actually really difficult. I had a hard time, but I do enjoy a challenge, as you guys know, if you've seen all the other stuff I've made on this channel. And thanks also for being a patron, PK. I appreciate it. And thanks all my other patrons for hanging around. Next time, we're going to do that acorn at the bottom that I'm tapping next to my arm because I'm using both my hands. Just because I want to finish off that line. That's not from a patron, that's just an acorn. And then after that, we'll do the owl at the top, and then the border underneath, and then we'll do another couple of patron ones. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good week, and I will catch you next time.